All righty. Let me remove this. Okay, let's load up the subject list for today. And again, now we're ready. I just got home not even 5 minutes ago, so I haven't even eaten lunch yet. We went to Palm Sunday service today, and it took a little longer than normal. We have a bilingual uh, group, and so read something in Spanish or in English, read it in Spanish, and vice versa. So anyway, I am thinking, we got so much going on Easter Sunday. We're going to just cancel Easter service, not Easter service, Easter live stream, because I'm just not going to be able to do it, to pack it all in. We also have our big family gathering, and that is logistically, yeah, not quite a nightmare, but it takes a lot of work. We get together maybe 30 plus people, and yeah, so I think I will just continue to upload the previous live streams, and we almost have maybe another 30 or so to go, and that will stop once we run out of previous live stream. And some of those are go back quite a while, so it'll be interesting for you guys to maybe, if you have the time, to explore them, see what I was talking about, say 5, 6, 7 years ago. But anyway, welcome everybody. I hope everyone has been having a wonderful time. I wanted to bring everybody up to date. I posted a video Friday evening, which did get quite a bit of viewing time from people, and I do appreciate that, explaining exactly where we were. And also, in case you didn't know about Print Prism, I did cover a little bit on that subject. And yeah, it is just amazing. We're going to be doing a little bit of that as well today. But at this point, I need to show you guys. So let me go ahead and load up my channel. I noticed something. Let's see. Yeah, I noticed something really different that I had never seen before. And I don't find it when I do it on my computer, but I do find it when I do it on my phone. If I am watching someone else's video, because they won't let me do it to mine, on the tab for adding a comment, you will see two or three little dots. Scan over to the next one, and it says hype. And you can hype the video. You can add, I don't know, hype points. And I guess supposedly that makes it more likely to be suggested to people. I don't know what that's about, but I just saw that. I cannot find it here on my computer because I'm looking at YouTube through me, my channel itself, and of course I cannot hype my own videos. So take a look at that next time you're watching one of my videos that I've been uploading, and then please do me this favor as well, because I know I always post the share it in Facebook, and I always get likes by the dozens in Facebook. Like the one on the actual channel, please, not in Facebook. That's not really. It makes me feel good, but it really doesn't help the channel itself. You need to like it. If you're going to like it inside YouTube, and then slide over. Do like you're going to comment something, or comment if you have something to say. But check out that next little section. I wish I had my phone with me. I left it upstairs. But yeah, and then you just click on it and you hype it. And I've been checking other people's videos that I watch, and it's there. I can actually hype their videos, and I don't know whether that really helps or what it does. But give it a try. It'll take you 1 second to do that. So anyway, let me show you what's been happening. And as of like a couple of weeks ago, I reached 1,000 subscribers, and immediately, almost immediately, YouTube contacted me via email and said that I can now apply to become a partner. So I did that, and everything just flowed like magic. I did my ID card identification of who I am. Then they told me, "Do you have an AdSense? You want to use your previous AdSense?" Yes. And I did that and I verified that, and it's done. So we're getting, because it's very slow. This is what happened way back in 1917. Um, about $1.50 a day, and that's normal as the viewership begins to grow. Make sure that you watch the ads at least 30 seconds worth. If you immediately skip, you don't get credit. So put up with that, please. You have no idea, unless you yourself are a YouTuber, you have no idea how important that is to a YouTuber who is monetized. I was looking at some of Janine's favorite channels on my computer. I can actually see what they earn a day. But let me just quick show you that everything now, notice here, these are all the latest videos, the very newest ones, and everything has a dollar sign on it, meaning it is monetized. What I need to do now is one by one add an end screen to each one so that it recommends another video for you to watch. But let me just back out of here. And let me see if I can do this. So let me do this over here. I can barely see what I am looking at. Terrible monitor. Okay, let me just do that while I am here. And I'll show you something that is going to blow your mind, I think, because this is what some of these channels are earning. And somehow I was able to access that information. And I don't know whether that's normal or not, but I was able to see it. So let me go to my subscriber list. This is mostly my wife. She loves looking at stuff. That's part of her entertainment, shall we say. Okay, so let me see if I can do this. This is just someone with 215,000 subscribers. Now, I was able to access that yesterday. I don't know why I can't see it today, but it literally showed me. I guess I can't. I don't know what I was looking at, to tell you the truth. But let's see. It literally showed me the monthly income, which I thought was something that they kept secret. Um, yeah, I cannot access that today. What was I doing yesterday? At any rate, yeah, they're making a lot of money. Wow, a ton of money. My gosh. So I guess things go are going very well for YouTubers nowadays, and hopefully, like again, I am not one of these guys like Mr. Beast who makes millions a day. No, I just want to buy paper. That's all I want to do. Just buy some paper. So anyway, let's just go back and begin. Let's just begin. Enough of that. But anyway, we are monetized. We're ready to roll. And again, that's the end of that horrible nightmare I go through. I say we because I include you guys always. You are my family, my printing family. So I will always say we. Okay. Let's go ahead and begin at the top. And the first person was Nigel Waters from the UK, Wales, that is, at 8:03 this morning. Canon Pro 300 with all the trimmings. Welcome, my friend. Here's Ron K from Trenton, New Jersey, Kodak 8550, QMH Ultimate Lifetime. You can read it. Canon R5 Mark II, Canon 7D. Also, congrats on the monetization. Thank you. I only use your link with any Amazon purchases. I haven't heard word from Amazon, so I don't know what's going on. Maybe the earnings are so little they don't reach the threshold that they require for them to send you a check. So I haven't seen a check for quite a while, but thank you. Keep doing it. I don't know what else to say. I do appreciate that extra bit of effort on your behalf. Richard Bender, Hagerstown, Maryland. Today is matting photo day as I prepare for the various photo shows that take place in Maryland during 2026. Try printing flowers on Red River canvas paper. You will like the results. I have 2 sheets of that, and we're going to go ahead and try that. Now, Fred, thank you. Thank you a million for having sent me the material here. So we have this. This is metallic gloss, metallic luster, and 2 sample packs right here. We're going to be playing around with these. I made 2 profiles, well, 2 prints that I need to scan. This one is the luster metallic, and then this one is the gloss metallic. So we're going to be scanning those. I did them on the 8550 simply because it's the best dye ink printer I have right now, and the one that produces the richest colors I've ever come across. Okay. Maybe the XP50,000 is a little bit better when it comes to the red zone, but that's my wife's now, and that's upstairs. I may someday get in there and maybe print a couple of these charts and see how well that's keeping up. Anyway, thank you. Henry Stoffel, Medford, Massachusetts, Epson P800, OEM Inks, Print Prism Update 132, of course, Qmich Ultimate 111 lifetime. All right, HZ from windy and rainy in the Netherlands. I used to love that the northern part of Belgium, close to the Netherlands or Holland, like we used to call it, because the weather was so beautiful there. Okay, as soon as you got down to the southern half, it got cloudy and a little bit rainy. Great for gardening. But we used to call it liquid sunshine. Yeah, wishing it was actually sunshine. Yeah, it was a little bit depressing sometimes. But anyway, so he's got windy weather today. Spring took a pause for a bit. Yes, here it's going crazy. Last night it was, I think, like 29 degrees. It's going to be almost 80 tomorrow. Did very satisfactory prints today. Ecotech 8550, Epson OEM semi-gloss, and Print Prism 132 profile. Much better than Epson's OEM profile. So if you guys are actually stating that and you're not perjuring yourselves, that is amazing. You should go to the Print Prism website, and I think they have a forum that you can post these reviews, if you will, just to sort of let Mike Cheney know what a jewel he has created. Okay. Judy Ann, hello, my dear. Sunday morning once again at and time for breakfast with Jose. Canon Pro 200, Nikon, and Fuji film cameras. Awesome. Photo Nikon 780, Edmonton, Canada, Alberta, that is. Canon Pro 1000, 8550, XP 15000. That, folks, would be like the perfect trio to have. If I had to, if you had the money to buy 3 printers, that's it. Or you can get the 1100 in case, in case of the, or in place of the 1000. But yeah, one of those 2 Canon printers, Ecotech 8550 and the XP 15000 as an all-in-one, and also a photo printer. Qmich Ultimate, Print Prism, OEM Papers, Red River, Ilford, Canson, Staples, DxO Lab, Photolab 9, and Photoshop and Lightroom Classic. MPM Photo is here. He's got a big 4x5 camera with the fancy lenses. Those are the best lenses made. A 4870 Perfection. That would be a V. Yeah. I got the 5000, which is just a few numbers higher, whatever that means. Photo flatbed scanner. Welcome again. Kevin Berniarski, Ellsworth, Wisconsin. Canon Pro 300, Epson Ecotech 8550, and the XP 15000. So again, 2 printers. Excellent. If you need 2 Epson printers, those are it. That's what you need to get. If you want a Canon and an Epson, then get the Pro 1000, 1100, and the 8550. Harold Davies is here. Hello, my friend. Like Cross, Wisconsin, Ecotech 8550, Canon Pro 1100, PCSE inks, Qmich, and Print Prism. And Mike Cheney is here. You must have heard me talking, praising you. Yeah. So now, listening while working on PP 2026.140, what could you possibly be adding to it? Someone on my forum mentioned that the Ecotech 8550 OEM profiles for glossy, semi-gloss, and luster are identical. I guess they got lazy and just changed the names. Yeah, that would be fun to look at all 3 of them in 3D form and look at their gamut volume and the way what protrudes beyond or whatever. Yeah, because if they are identical, that is lazy. That is lazy. All righty. Welcome. So when can we expect this new version? This week, probably, I'm sure. Okie doke. I checked all three. They are the same except for the embedded names. Oh my God. Wow. That's that's amazing. So yeah, so it doesn't matter then. Why have a different profile? I was just looking at the differences between, you might say, okay, luster compared to glossy. The only difference is the level of gloss, right? No, no. I just printed these the other day. So this one is glossy. This is Red River Polar Luster Metallic and Red River Gloss Polar Gloss Metallic. So one is glossy, one is not. And it's very difficult to discern, but there is a difference. There is a difference in the output. Of course, using the recommended papers that Red River says you should use when you print this type of media on the 8550. So that's the recommended media choice I chose while printing the charts with the color management set to off. And you may not see it in camera, but I do see a slight difference between the two papers, the color renditions here, especially these yellows. They're just simply not as pronounced as they are in the glossy. So there's a difference in color density actually between the two papers. So having that information printed on this specific paper, different than the other specific paper, means that when I scan it, I'm going to get a specific profile made, not the same. Okay. I could probably get away with just making, say, one for glossy and using it for the other one as well. But I'm not going to do that. Okay. I am not going to do that. So we'll leave those there. Wow, that would explain somewhat. You got something to share with us, HC? We caught Epson at a dirty little secret. So, Mike, I know that you probably have access to something that allows you to see the, say, three stacked 3D bubbles of the profile of each profile, and they all superimpose each other perfectly. Nothing protrudes. There is no wire mesh sticking out or in or whatever. That's crazy. I would have never even guessed that they would have done that. Yeah, it just makes it easier, right? I did they think that us users were ever going to consider the 8550 as a competitive photo quality printer? Maybe that wasn't the case. Maybe they just, people thought, it's just an all-in-one that happens to be 13-inch, capacity, and yeah, you can print photos with it. Mm. More reason to get print prism and create your own. Yes, absolutely. Okay, so next week we will be chipping away at the last 1 to 2% accuracy. That's what I told everybody. My current video, I've been uploading old videos daily, and I haven't uploaded anything current for a while, um, except stuff about Print Prism. Those have been uploaded and now they're available. Um, and I gotta do a what do you call it? Where it's just Print Prism videos. You know what I mean? Um, and then group them together. That way everybody can access those without having to go through 400 something videos. Um, but I was telling people last Friday that maybe since 132 came out, like I find it flawless to work with. I haven't had a single error. Remember what we went through the other day, and everything's working beautifully. If I have to find my own corners, that's my fault for not lining up the the scan correctly in my scanner. But as far as accuracy, I thought that is kind of a diminishing returns, if you will, a lot of work just to squeeze the last couple of drops of accuracy, and that any future um, version would just simply try to extract the most accuracy out of it. And I sort of explained in the most layman terms I could come up with what the process does compared to a spectrophotometer, which I showed. And I said that baby cost me a 3-day vacation in Disney World. Yeah, so, I'm not kidding. So, well, maybe not now. It's expensive as heck down there. But when I used to go before the pandemic. So yeah, you probably will not be seeing. I have to have Mike here. Correct me if I'm wrong, but probably not be seeing anything astronomically new. It'll just be tiny little squeezing that last bit of quality, and maybe I don't know. I don't know what other feature you could possibly add at this point. Mike, today I noticed this is HZ as a hiccup in the file naming. I included in the scan stack name 2026.132 because of the dot. The file extension got lost. Yeah, possibly. So I don't I use a dash. So I don't even need to look at those gamma halls. The profile data is a bitwise identical. Yeah. NPM Photo says, Jose, hype. Visiting YouTube on my Samsung Android says, pick a video you love uploaded in the last 7 days. 2, give points to hype it up to 3. Watch it soar in the leaderboard. Yeah, guys, I cannot do that to my own. They won't allow me to do that. That's cheating. Please do that. Please do that. That would, and we'll see what happens because okay, technically I don't have 79,000 subscribers anymore, but I never got 79,000 views the minute I uploaded one of my videos. Not like the huge YouTubers with, millions of subscribers. They get instant viewership. So maybe that will help if you guys do that. Not, I don't know whether that will work with a live stream, but definitely with the videos that I've been uploading. And I'm going to be doing more often weekly videos where they'll be current. It'll be me talking this week, in other words. So give that a try and we'll see. I'll keep track of the effect that may have. Realism master. I think that's what it, yeah. Hi from Athens, Greece. Welcome. Wow. My son-in-law is Greek. My son-in-law married to my second daughter. Last name is he's Gregory Papalukas. His father was a big wine distributor here in Baltimore area. So anyway, that's one country I wish I had been able to go when I was in Europe. And they're trying to get back and go to Greece, by the way. So welcome. This is awesome. I'm going to tell my wife. Okay, started a fine art printing business thanks to all the info from your videos on Facebook group. Wow. And he did this, and I do this right back at you. Self-taught rocking, yeah. Epson 9800, wow. 7880, 8550, Canon Pro 1000. Awesome, man. Excellent. Welcome. All right. One thing, Mike, that I've been getting is really weird. When I reboot my computer, I get a pop up once the desktop loads up that says, would you like to open version 130? And I just delete it. It's really weird. All righty. No, let me just say something, and I tell this to all the people that are from Spanish ancestry, like from Spain or Portugal or what else? Italy and Greece. You go there with a camera, your eyes are going to be burning because no matter where you look, it's absolutely beautiful. Oh my gosh. That's the way I work in a pathology lab, and one of our pathologists, who was an army colonel, he lost his wife, and he a year or two later went to Spain and took his girlfriend. They went to Spain to bicycle throughout the country, okay, and photograph. And he's one of these guys that didn't want to ever edit a raw file because he found that to be a cardinal sin. How dare you edit? I just went, forget it. I don't want to talk to you about that. Tell me about your trip. He says, Jose, everywhere I looked, it was beautiful. And that's the way it is in Italy and Greece. Yeah, it's just gorgeous. I remember Paris. I remember going to Luxembourg. I remember going to, Brussels, Belgium. Oh my God, it's just glorious. And I know I'm wrong. I am totally wrong, but I really hate to see these places get modern. Ah, old Korea, when I was there in 1971, 72, 73, that era there, they went through a huge buildup about midway through my last year there. And I looked at some photos right now of the actual area where my camp was, and it's unrecognizable. And yeah, it's modern. I mean, Korea produces all sorts of things now. That wasn't the case when I was there. All right, turns out you can squeeze a tiny amount more quality out of scanners with a small cooldown delay between passes. Oh, that's awesome. So again, so let's stop right there for a second. So you're telling me that, remember when I was having that issue, and so we needed more time between passes to solve the issue because the software was triggering the next pass too soon, and my scanner had not returned back to the original position. Wow. So maybe that was a good thing. What do you think, Mike? Was that a good coincidence? So increase it just a tiny bit more. Takes me forever to scan with a spectrophotometer. Who cares? Who cares if it takes an extra minute? Whoa. Oh my gosh. Come on. So yeah, check that again and see anything for a little bit more quality. And that's really insignificant to me as far as I'm concerned. A little bit extra extra time. Who cares? Wow, nice, Mike. I like that level of refinement. Yes, this dude doesn't stop. Yeah. I recommend you probably don't realize I watch you, Mike, a lot. Mike's Musings, his channel. Remember the analysis you did on the data from that Tesla crash? I told my Techie son-in-law, the one married to Judy Ann, about it, and I tried to explain what you were explaining, and he was quite amazed. So I'm not going to tell you guys to watch it, but look on his channel where he did the analysis on the data that the computer saved during the actual crash of that Tesla, and whose fault was it? Okay. Collisions can happen too, where two different patches can measure the same by the scanner. New versions will correct that. Sounds groundbreaking, but it really only makes a tiny difference. Well, every little bit helps. Is that what People say. Oh, yeah. Okay, we'll see. Keep it up. Hype all the videos, folks. I wish I could do. I'm going to ask my son to do that too. Nah, he doesn't want to do that. There's no way he's going to do that. All right. But yeah, do that, please. Jose, there's nothing in print person to make it pop up when your computer starts. I think it's PC is possessed. Yeah, it is. It's got to be. It's got to be. I'm going to take a picture next time it pops up. Send it to you. It's no biggie. I just close it. New version will have a cooldown selection of 10, 20, 30, 60 seconds. You mean between passes? And allow up to 5 passes. Okay. Would that make a difference? Since we have you here, gosh, you might as well be here live with me, but you're working, you're doing work. Does that make a difference on, for example, this very same paper, super glossy. I mean, there's no surface texture to this. So I assume light reflects back without any distortion or diffraction. Would a paper that has a relatively low to medium texture require more passes? I don't know because nothing is moving. It's not like me scanning manually. Um, would that matter? Would that be better for a slightly textured paper? For example, canvas or a linen type paper like we're going to be using today? I don't know. That I cannot. I don't have an answer for. I'm the 5 pass 60-second kind of guy. Yes, absolutely. Go for it, Mike. Go for it. All right. So we talked about the channel. So I received those papers, and let me show you. This is the luster metallic, beautifully packed. I remember I am not going to, they've made a huge improvement, let's just say. I remember early days, I'm talking 15 years ago, maybe more. They would pack boxes in an empty box with a couple of pads of crumble paper, and that's it. And of course, UPS would treat them like garbage, and the corners would get damaged. I have a box of a paper that I just uploaded a video about, as a matter of fact, called Green Pix. And Green Pix was totally made from recycled paper. And I wonder, well, how good could this junky paper be? Well, it's pretty good. Problem is, look at the corner. They dropped it. The UPS did. And of every single sheet has a corner damaged. And this is before I knew Drew Hendricks. And I filed a complaint, and they told me I was crazy. Yeah, their material was packed beautifully, blah, 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 blah. And well, anyway, so I sort of gave up on that. What I do is I just trim off 1/2 inch. Sure, it's no longer 13 by 19, but who cares? I print whatever on it. And I did a profile on it. I haven't scanned it yet. It is located, I think I put it inside my scanner right now. But we're going to go ahead and test it out because unfortunately it's not available anymore. It's just one of those things where I keep going through my stuff and I keep finding papers from years ago. And luckily they have not turned yellow, because if a paper had OBAs, meaning optical brightening agents, it tends to turn yellow after years. So if you buy something from like Staples, a Staples glossy paper, it will turn yellow in 10 years. Starts on the edges and works its way toward the center, and that will affect the way the results will look, of course. And can you make a profile with that? Of course, no. Of course you can. Um, the base color is not even throughout the whole sheet of paper, so it sort of becomes useless. You just use it for scrap printing. Okay, texture won't require more passes, but where it helps is the fact that you won't be adding both noise and texture. Okay, yeah. And as far as the DPI, or is it PPI? What are we using here? On the scanner's resolution you're scanning with is 300. The optimum is doing it at 600. Just a waste of time. Food. I still have half a sandwich upstairs waiting for me. Would it make a difference whatsoever, especially for something like you just said, a texture type paper? Anyway, so we're going to be scanning these babies right here. Let me make sure that I put these in the correct location. And I am going to put in the back the correct information. So this is the glossy one. So Polar Red River RR Polar Glossy Metallic Met and 8550 MPP. Next one. Yep, this is Polar Luster. Metallic 8550 MPP. Okay. And let me make sure that I do have these already ready to be scanned. Nope. So where the heck did I put that? I thought I had it here. See, there I go again. I know where I put it, right here in front of me. Right here, Red River Green Picks. So what I would like to do very quickly, remember this is you really cannot read this with your eyes. And this is Green Picks on the front and the metallic luster. You can see the difference in the reds. You see that? So this is going to be read by the scanner, and then when we use the software, it's going to select every one of those little squares. That selection is very similar, Mike, to, in a huge version, what the X-Rite passport card did. You have just a few color patches, and when you open up that image in the software, it automatically selects a square that contains the color patch that you printed, or the color patch that you are loading into your software with your computer. It'll be, I think it was a in something, some kind of file format, and then it selects it and it looks at it and says, your camera created this error. You should have been this color, because that's what the original color patch on the passport card is, but your image is, the green is wrong, so let's correct it. Anyway, similar, like, and then in Photoshop or in QImage, it applies that correction automatically to your images that you shot with a certain camera, a certain lens combination, and of course the conditions that you shot that with. So I used to, when I was really serious, I used to go out, and everywhere I went, I took a picture of my passport card. This baby right here. So it looks like this. You can see right here. So you open it up. I'm not going to take it out, but you've seen it before. You take a photograph of that, and there's only like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 by, so 24 patches. Ooh, that's a lot compared to Print Prism. Yeah, right. So it selects each one. It puts a little rectangle inside each one of those color patches on the image itself. It automatically selects that and it corrects it. And then it applies through a huge amount of interpolation, a correction for that camera and lens. Then when you open up that set of images you shot at 12 noon in the front of the Washington Monument, you shot 30 pictures, nothing changed, the lighting remained the same. You apply that correction to all 30 images, and all those raw images, or what is it? Oh my God, I forget now. It's a raw file format. It applies them, and all of a sudden you see like colors changing, actually becoming accurate. Now you can go ahead and edit those images. That's going a little too far. That's if you want to get really crazy. And I think Mike applies automatic that type of correction to anything you open that's a raw file inside QImage. Whether you were aware of that or not, it's when it's loading that cache building, that's what it's doing. It is applying a camera lens correction to that set of raw images you just loaded in QImage. You just didn't know it was doing that. So when you're viewing them as thumbnails, they are now corrected. So the camera error is taken care of inside QImage. Correct me if I'm wrong, Mike. I think that was what the reason for that. I think you told me that you do a ton of different profiles, camera profiles that are embedded inside QImage. Okay, he did answer me. So texture won't require more passive. Yeah. So noise or texture, and then DPI is optimal unless you have to print small targets. Okay. If you go to say 600 DPI, you can start to pick up the dot patterns, and then instead of oh, see, I never figured that out. I never thought about that. Especially on a super glossy paper, the dot game will be so small that actually you will be scanning the dots, yellow, magenta, cyan, and black dots, and red and blue or green, whatever your printer uses. Yeah, okay, that makes absolute sense. Okay, see, that's why you do that, and I don't. Okay, that's why you're the one doing that. Okay, so let me. Now this is going to be scary because I got Mike watching me do this. So let me go ahead and load my green picks, and I used to print it. I used Velvet Fine Art Paper Choice, so it's utilizing both blacks. It created this chart, and now we're going to proceed to scan. Okay, let's open up Print Prism. All right, so we don't have to, as far as I have been told by Mike, this is now handled pretty much automatically. If this is the printer that I was using with a scanner that I was using, it'll remain the same. So that's 8550. Yeah, that's in this series right here of category of scanners. And let's go ahead and open. No, we don't have to open anything. See, what do? We already have a print made. So we're just going to scan it. Should I waste time and preview it? Nah, I'm going to scan it. So it should begin. My scanner is blinking. We'll let it go ahead and do its triple pass scan. So you can see I can choose whether I want a single, double, or triple. I always, if it was quintuple, I would choose that. So it's preparing for the next pass. This is what I always say. Drink something, drink tea, drink a Pepsi, drink coffee while all of these things are taking place. And of course, this is like that. It's just a matter of a couple of minutes and you're done. If I was doing thousands of color patches and I had a device to allow my spectrophotometer to accurately don't divert from that row uh, and create all sorts of errors, it would take me an hour, at least an hour. So this is kind of working in reverse of what you would do with a spectrophotometer. Is scanning the whole thing, and then the software is selecting each one of those tiny squares. That way you can identify what each square color should have been as far as the original chart that we printed. All right, that's it. So now I'm going to save it. And I have never saved this before, so I'm going to give it the name. So this is going to be, and I should choose the printer first, 8550. And this is Red River Green Pix. That's it. That's all I'm gonna put down. Save it. This allows me to add it to my profile folder, and done. That's it. Now I'm gonna just move it over here a minute to see what it looks like. There you go. See those little red corner marks? Those are your locators that acts as a method for the software to find the coordinate, okay, XY coordinate of each one of those thousands of squares. So let's cross our fingers, click on this button right here that says, it says I gotta detect corners. I should memorize this. And we'll see. And by golly, look at that. So at this point, we're gonna look across. And if we have anything, any movement of those little selections that maybe is getting too close to the edges, we could manually just adjust those corners. But so far, it's just nearly perfect. So let me take a look here in the lower left. So that's right spot on. And look at this one over here. Again, I'm taking a lot more time than you should because I just want to show you what this looks like. You see the little orange selection right there on the corner. So we are right on, as I used to say. I don't know if they say that anymore. Right on. Okay, so that's it. What do we do next? Create a profile. Now you just sit back and let the software perform its magic. Again, it has to look at every one of those little selections, what color is behind it, and determine whether it is accurate or does it represent the original color value of that chart. Each one of those has a location, has a coordinate. It will select it, as you can see here, and determine what errors. And then it does, again, a very elaborate computing and produces a profile. The profile is going to, every one of those squares will have a correction, okay? And that's as simple as I can make it. This is what the level that I need to look at it so that I understand what could possibly be happening behind the scenes here. So instead of having only, say, 400 patches, well, wait a minute, an image can contain 60 million plus colors. How can 400 be enough? Well, it has to interpolate. I could do a $3,600, $3,600, 3,600 patch chart, several sheets of paper, or a large sheet of paper, and then scan it very accurately with my handheld scanner and hope that again it can interpolate. We have, what was it, Mike? Like 9,000 to deal with here. So again, how many hours have passed? No, no, just minutes, like a minute or two so far. And there it goes. So what I am going to do, I'm going to prep some paper. Remember, I told you guys I had to trim the edges, so I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to go ahead and trim it afterwards. What I will do is I will give it like a 1-inch border. And yeah, that's a big kink right there. Terrible. That's almost an inch I have to take off. So are we done? Yeah, I think we're done. Let me just close this. We'll come back to me. We'll open up Q image. So I suppose I could do like a small standard image and then make like an 8x10. Um, so let me choose my 8550. We'll pop that over here. 8550, and then for this paper, we're going to choose matte. Actually, no, velvet fine art paper. That's what I used to print on it. And I am going to create a, I don't know how big should I make this, 5x7 standard image. Go to my standard image patches. I mean, section here. I'm going to just move that to the top here. And we'll pick a good image from my list. Photos for the slideshow. That might be good. Let me see what I got here. Were painted renditions. Let's see. Richard Bender's new images. I got lots of choices here. We'll do these. This one I haven't done for a while. Let me see. Okay, this is a pretty striking one right here. Oh, I forgot you cannot do that. So what I need to do is I'm going to just load that one and then load the other one. That was my bad. Don't yell at me, Mike. Okay. I got to go back to the picture folder. Oh, sorry, wrong one. There we go. And then test images. And we'll do both. We'll do the standard image and then we'll do this one as well and see what we get. We're going to look at the standard image for accuracy, the results of the profile that we just made. So I'm going to click on my profile section here. I'm just going to browse and I'm going to just go ahead and click on the date. That's the last one, the first one, the very last one we just made, green pix right here. And that's it. Relative colorimetric, black one comp, and print. So I only added the standard image just to verify how good or how bad the profile is, so we'll see what we get. Let that finish loading. Let's continue on here. Photon Icon says to Mike, I have a question. I run all my printers on Ethernet. Since Print Prism update 132, the software indicates that I need to manually set the settings and manual execute each scan. So Mike's answer, yep, the only way to get a raw scan automatically is on an Epson is by connecting via USB. It is a limitation of the Epson drivers. Print Prism indicates I need to use USB connect. Yeah. Uh, I don't know whether that can be made to work through Ethernet. Again, I'll leave that to the programmer, and that is Mike. So he can answer that for you a million times better than I could possibly. So let this baby load. As you can see, it's loading now. The next one I'm going to be doing is the metallic ones, and I want to find something worthy of printing on metallic. Um, Something like I'm going to go into Photoshop and create something and see what happens. Okay, let me trim these down. Okay, I have a question for Mike. Since these updates basically have to do with scanning accuracy, improvements that ultimately will produce a slightly better profile, are we going to have to rescan everything we've printed in the past? Like every time we upload or install a new version that claims to have an improvement included in it, I have a lot of time. I would go ahead and rescan everything and just overwrite my previous results. Whether I will be able to see that difference in print with my old eyes, probably very likely no. But I'm the type of guy that would do that. I would go to the extent of rescanning everything. What is your opinion? Or should you just worry about new profiles that we create with the new version? Yes. Okay. So you were listening to me. Great. So no problem. Yeah, I love doing that. It just makes me, you know, brings if I do things over and over and over and over and over and over again, then I don't make errors anymore. Which, at my age, half the stuff I make sometimes is wrong. So I would have no issues doing that. I got about maybe 30 profiles that I could just redo. And so I will wait. I'm going to scan these just for fun because I want to see what that looks like on metallic paper, printing some of these images. Oh, but Mike, this is so much fun. I don't mind doing it. Makes me feel good. That's true. You're right, Richard. He's older than me, so I have to respect what he says. Okay, I'm not kidding. Smart dude. Okay, super smart. So, well, I'm gonna go ahead and scan this baby right here, and I believe what I put there was the nothing. I'm gonna do the glossy first. Oh, here is. Oh boy, did someone forget to tell the printer that it was 11 by 30 by 17? Of course we did. So I printed it thinking it was an 89 by 11, but looking good. Let me line this up. Here we go. This is accurate. These two maybe not, but let me look at the these backlit these. Pretty good detail. Now this was basically made for you to practice or to do a test print on. They weren't really, promoting this paper for you to do, something you were selling. So this was for you to test, and well, as you can see, looks pretty good to me. Let me compare to some other. This was on XP 15,000. Again, with custom profile. That was probably done with the Spectra, but you can see how identical that is. Just a slightly different size. I picked that one because it is on matte paper, so makes it more relevant. And the blacks, yeah, super. When you use that dual black routine using Velvet Fine Art, it really just puts that extra on your results. Yeah, I had it 8.5 by 11 instead of 11 by 17. So my bad. Okay, so now I'm going to get ready. I'm going to set this up so that it will accurately print, and all I got to do is add the correct profile that I'm going to create right now. So premium photo paper glossy. We'll do the glossy one first. And I will get a sheet of that. You first look at metallic paper, it has that grayish look, which is really, really throws you off a little bit. Okay, so let me see if I already have something good that will serve as a good example for a metallic paper. I'm gonna put this over here. I can't do it on my tiny little monitor on the right side. So bear with me 1 second here. Let's see. Photos for slideshow. Okay. Ooh. All right, so maybe something like this. And I'll just go ahead. Maybe we'll get two of them, two for the price of one. So we'll remove this. And I will add this one. And let's see. I don't know what a monochrome would look like on metallic paper. I'm not gonna try it. I'll do. Let's see. Maybe we'll look at another. Let's look at Richard Bender's stuff. This should look good. The shot of the caves, that was AI created, by the way. So yeah, I think that'll work. So we'll leave that alone. I'll go ahead and load Print Prism again. I just stacked it in front of Q image. That should be about center right there. And we'll just immediately scan it. So initially, you would check to make sure your scanners controls are set properly. 0 color management, 300 dpi, that sort of thing. Of course, image instead of a document, that sort of thing. So it knows what to do, and once you do that, it remembers it. So now I find it's not necessary whatsoever to check again. It has remembered all of that, the correct pre-settings for you to be able to scan later on that chart. To be able to scan the chart, I mean, Now this is going to be metallic, polar, gloss, metallic. So once it is done, I'll be able to enter that information. And we'll do the next one, which is the luster metallic. So scanning the third one. Okay. And I will just give it a name. So 8550 polar, Red River polar gloss metallic. And did I spell it correctly? Maybe. And that's it. Now I'm going to transfer it over to my saved profiles right here. And that's it. We'll locate the corners, detect the corners. By the way, my wife had her surgery this past Wednesday. Everything went well. She had a checkup the very next day. No swelling whatsoever. Her double vision is actually less than it used to be. And now, after she fully recovers from that, they're going to go ahead and clean up a little bit of a remnant uh, bit of a uh, on your eye. What is it? Oh my God. You know what I mean. Um, and then she'll wait another few months and then get new glasses issued. And that should do it. All right. Everything is lined up perfectly. And we'll just go ahead and make the profile. I can remove the glossy one, replace it with the semi-gloss. I'm not the, I keep saying semi-gloss, the luster one. Once it is done creating the profile, we'll go ahead and test it. So we'll test the glossy one first. I'll load that. Oh, I already did. Okay, great. I'm a little ahead of myself here. We'll do those two images and see how well this works out. We got to create the second profile here, the luster one. And then I'm going to dig into the pack. And for that, since I only have 2 sheets each on the sample packs, I'm just going to use whatever they recommend. So here's the one that has Pecos River Gloss, Premium Matte, River Linen, Paper Canvas, Polar Matte, Pecos River Gloss, 230. So there's 2 different weights of the River Gloss, Arctic Polar Luster, and that's it. So we'll use this, but I'm only going to print, say, on the maybe the canvas. I already took a look at the linen, and yeah, it looks very similar to the Strathmore one. The only thing is, it's going to be coated. It's going to be coated for printing on inkjet printers. So that's what we're looking for. That is the main reason to even attempt to do this. So I don't want to take everything out. I just want to take out the one. Well, I guess I do have to take them out. Sure enough, they put them at the very bottom. So the ID. This is the linen and the canvas. The canvas looks really neat. The canvas looks like an irregular texture, canvas texture, which is the way real canvas looks like. The linen is more of a even texture. I think we're done with the profiling for the glossy. Let me attempt to put this back in there without causing a problem. Okay. I think those are the only 2 we're going to test today. We'll leave these right here. I need to look at the sheet also to determine what is it that they want me to choose as the paper type. All right, so we're going to scan the next one. I don't have to log off or anything. I just go ahead and scan. It's going to replace that. So I think here's the instructions, what paper to use. So the canvas, presentation paper matte, and the linen. Where'd it go? Presentation paper matte. So I'm wondering, since we're going to be using the 8550, whether I should just use Velvet Fine Art, because it's not going to use matte black. Well, it is, but if I use presentation paper matte, it will just use matte black. If I use Velvet Fine Art, it will use both blacks, which is what we've been doing all along. I want to give it its maximum possibility to create a black. And now I'm just going to use, I should download Red River Paper profile for those 2 as well. So let me go ahead and jump over to the Red River website. This is done scanning. We are done scanning, done I'm going to go ahead and this is going to be luster. Okay. I got to work on both monitors here. Copy the scan name. So no, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to copy it. I'm going to check right there. Yeah, luster. Beautiful. Detect corners. It's a little crooked, but I think no issue. Everything lined up. Notice how each little selection square is in the central portion of the color patch itself. So if it was diverting or too close to one of the corners or something like that, I would go ahead and realign everything manually. But it isn't, so we'll go ahead and create the profile. So this is luster metallic, okay? And there it goes. Let's look at Red River paper ICCs. And I am going to, for the 8550, I'm just going to search 8550. Oh, I should have done the product. Sorry about that. So polar metallic. Maybe it'll give me both. Polar matte, polar gloss metallic. So we'll get that one. Let me see what the price was. That's reasonable. It's so difficult for me to see that. I'll just do it over here. I'll just type in ICCs, product finder. Hmm. Ah, come on. Okay. So EcoTank 8550. And now luster metallic. So here we go. So here's the luster metallic. Where'd it go? Right here. No. Geez, I just had it. All I did was switch over to the other side. Okay. Hang on. Polar matte luster. Hmm. It's not here for the 8550. So that is strange. Here it is. Okay. I wasn't looking in the right place. I could just download the whole batch. Will they let me do that? One time they did. I just got a big old single file with every one of the profiles in it. Hmm. I am not seeing where you can actually download them. It just has the list, but I don't see a tab where you can download them. So this is the 8550 right here. So click to the, okay, here it is, all of them. We'll just get the whole shebang. Okay. Boy, I didn't make that very clear. Of course, it says download right there. So it was just me. So now it is already downloaded. I'll open it up. And I'm just going to install, for now, just the ones that I want. So polar metallic. I'm going to have to transfer this over here so I can see what I'm doing. Gloss and metallic. I just simply double click. Now it should be found in QImage. So did I create the profile? I believe I did. Did I? I think I did. Let me check in my color folder. There it is right there, luster and gloss. Okay, we're done. Let's go ahead and sometimes if I have to reopen QImage for the new profiles to be found, that's not a problem. Okay, so we want that. We'll just use another one of his images here. Okay, this, oh gosh. I'm going to use mine. Mine's a little bit less colorful. His stuff is just amazing. AI images. Okay, these are the ones that I have made, I think. And we'll do this one. We'll do the Little Red Riding Hood. Oh, maybe this right there. Oh, yeah. So we will see what that's going to look like. Again, this is going to be on glossy. We make sure glossy. So premium photo paper glossy. And then instead of using the profile from Epson, we're going to load my own. And I'll just look. Here it is, glossy metallic. And that should be it. Let's see what we get. I didn't do any adjustments whatsoever. No sharpening was applied, just the normal sharpening default level. Let's go ahead and take a look at some of this new comments here. Okay. So see, that's another thing that people just don't really believe, that the 8550 scanner is that good. According to Mike, it is. Ms. Bauer says, I'd find some image that I would keep as a comparative. I would use that one to see if I would need to rescan or if the new version had no real discrepancies. I suppose you can use the standard image, or maybe something that is known to have some outer gamut areas, and then you could compare to say the OEM profile for that particular paper. Or when I say OEM, I would of course be referring to an Epson paper on a 8550, something that they did. Um, if it's Red River, you would have to use their profile. And like Mike said, yeah, they're using the same profile for similar papers. So, or no, Epson was using the same profile. Charlie says Epson P800, P700, QImage is the bomb. Really want to do Print Prism, but neither of my scanners, Epson V. Oh, you have an 850. Wow. I had the 800 at work. Oh, man. Yeah. Mike, is the reason for that because they're rare and they're not, some of them like the V500 no longer available? Or is it the light source of the scanner that makes a difference? Or or you would have to have a V500 on your desktop to be able to add it, right? And I assume you don't have one of those. Mine was really cheap when I bought it, like $160. I think I paid for it ages ago, years ago. Yeah, they do. Hmm. All right. So next thing we're going to do, I'm going to try to do some of my more artsy type images on that river linen. So they actually have individual profiles. Hold on one second. Let me show you what this looks like. Oh man, this is over the top. Really, really neat. I'm looking at the results and what we have on paper here. I'm going to have to come up with a way to do this. Just the brilliance is just okay. I'm sold. I'm sold on this, and I hate glossy. I really do, but the look is just crazy good. Oh my gosh. It's just that the borders are not really white. They're like a grayish metallic look. Maybe like if it was um, aluminum uncoated, but without that transparent look. So that really looks great. For this one, however, I am going to use one of my paintings that I did in miniature. I'm going to go ahead and print it. Well, let's go ahead and do the next one, which will be let's see, these are my linen and my canvas. This is the canvas, I'm sorry, right here. This is the linen. I'm going to do what kind of paper is this? Where did this come from? Oh, it was preloaded in there from before. Don't worry about that. All right, let's go ahead and do the semi-gloss, or no, I keep saying semi-gloss, the luster. So this will have a different level of gloss. We'll see how the colors are. I'm going to use the exact same set of images. We're just going to switch the profile around to the luster metallic one. So luster metallic. Okay, and print. I got to move this out of the way here. I'm not going to take this out. Put it over here with the other one. And get these ready to go. So we're going to be comparing the output, if there's any difference. There's going to be a slight difference in the way the metallic look of it. Okay, hit okay. As opposed to, you know, what the glossy version produced. Wow. Now this, imagine a big print made out of this and mounted and matted. This is what Richard Bender does a lot of. He loves this kind of paper. And he has shown me stuff that he has made. I have one. Is this one of them? Yeah, I think this is one of them right here. This is an image that I sent him, and he printed it on that metallic paper, and it just makes it pop. It's just incredible, the look that you get. Okay, so I'm going to leave this on because I got to make that comparison again once that is done printing. Yeah, it's a different weave pattern. So canvas, real artist canvas made in Belgium from linen. So Belgian linen, they call it. It has not that perfect woven, you know, screen looking texture. It has a slightly uneven texture, let's just say. So, and it sort of does look like canvas. This is the linen, very, very even grid pattern. Well, not that even. It looks a little bit more like cloth. But this one, yeah, this one's a coarser thread size. In other words, um, if it was real fabric, this would be a higher thread count instead of the canvas surface, which is a lower thread count per inch, that is. Okay, so this is like crazy glossy. This is looking, I would probably prefer this than the glossy. If I wanted that metallic look, but not so much of a reflective situation going on, where no matter how you view it, you're going to get reflections off of it, I would choose that one. And I think that's what Richard used over there. This is matte. This is my image. I printed it on matte paper, velvet fine art mode. And this is Richard's metallic result. And it is lovely. Just, I mean, wow. It makes the delicacies look wet. Look at the difference between that little cheese ball or that olive. It makes it like you want to eat it. So, all right, let's make a comparison here. Yeah, this is great. Oh my God, this is really good. Do they match? Remember, we created profiles, individual profiles. I prefer the luster. Notice, I just noticed this. Check it out. Mike, you still here, right? Here, this is the luster one. This is the glossy one. What happened to the detail that this has here? I just don't see it as distinctly as I can on the luster version of it. Explain that to me. I just don't see the level of detail. Maybe it's just the surface. Wow. Same thing here. This is AI, but it's super detailed. I see little lines here with the so-called fake brush marks, and here it is just every little line is there. You can't see it on my video camera, but indeed it is amazing. It's just awesome. Okay, I'm gonna do a couple of, well, see, they put right there on the surface. They should have put that in the back. That's the only thing I hate about Red River sample packs. They put it in the printable area. They should put it in the back so that I could then make a print that I could frame. Well, so Red River linen. Let's do that one. And I will find me a photo. So I am going to load Little Red Riding Hood. I am going to put a border on her, a stroke. And let me see. And add a little bit of sharpness. This is off screen, so you can't see what I'm doing. I'm just making little adjustments here. And that's it. We're going to print this. This should come out beautiful. And I'm going to use their profile. I'm going to use their profiles, not mine. Okay. So let's go to my printer. I should have, oh, look at that. Right there. Look at it. How did it know to do that? Well, let me change this to luster. So ultra premium luster and Arctic polar luster. So it is loading automatically everything. Let me do the uh, actual profile that I just made. Should be right at the bottom here. So we're doing the metallic. Which one? I'm sorry. What am I thinking? What am I thinking? We're doing Red River. Red River. So we're going to load Red River linen. RR linen. It was just basically remembering the linen, or just plain linen. Linen. Red River linen canvas. Linen Epson. Wow. Um, I think that's okay. Linen. Okay, here it is right here. And it was loaded. Did I load that a long, 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 long time ago? I must have. Hmm. Okay. Let's see what Little Red Riding Hood looks like when printed on this paper. Then we'll do a version on canvas. We'll do something else. We'll find another image here in my. This is one. I think this is one that Richard made for me. So let's see if I have something that's actually painted. Okay, these Parisian ones. These are actually painted. Well, made to look like a painting. And we'll do like a since we have that mark, we'll do a like an 8 by 8 inside the 8.5 by 11. So I'm in love with the metallic luster. Richard, are you still here? Is that the paper you're using? Your metallic paper? Is it Red River metallic luster? The polar metallic luster? All right, let's go ahead and remove that. Leave everything alone except for the profile. We're going to change it to canvas. Let me see. Um, I hope it's going to say canvas on the name. I really did not look. I have so many canvas papers here. So breathing color, no, that's breathing color. Red River satin blanco canvas, no. Paper canvas, okay. For the 620, and here it is for the 8550. And I'm just going to make a size, specific size right here. So it'll be 8 by 8 because the image I'm going to print is square. It's a square format. And it's going to be one of these right here. This one looks good. But then again, they all look good. Yeah, that looks a little bit more painterly than maybe this one. I don't know. What do you guys think? I think this one is good. And it's already been corrected and sharpened. So this is going to be done on the canvas. We'll see how that looks like. If it looks good, I might go ahead and consider buying some of that, the canvas paper. I've used their Blanco canvas white. I would rather use the breathing color um, glossy canvas or the, I think it was a satin canvas. I made the little paintings for my show this October with it, and it really looks beautiful. It looks like it's been varnished by an official, with an official type oil painter's canvas varnish. Really, really great. This is looking lovely. Lovely, lovely, lovely. What I see so far. Well, by golly, this is amazing. I think there's something about this glossy paper, the glossy metallic. Yeah, the detail is there. It's just not, I mean, gosh, it's like it's a little bit smoother. It's something very minute. You have to really get on top of it and see. Yeah, I'm sold on this. This is great. This is outstanding. Not just great, outstanding. And so is my little girl right here. Look at that. Now it's, you guys cannot see the texture. Um, it has more contrast. It has better blacks than printing on the linen Strathmore acrylic paper, because that's not coated. This is coated. This is coated for inkjet printing. So it's going to have the maximum amount of like Dmax, ink density, color intensity, and all of that. It's made for that. So this looks good to me. I may have to change my mode of printing my little mini prints. I'm dying to see what that's going to look like, though. That's going to be the seller for me right there. Um, the canvas paper. Now, Strathmore makes canvas paper, but it really wasn't that great. It didn't really work out that well for me. So I've given up on it. So maybe Red River, that'll be the game changer, if you will. So did I? Yeah, I probably did. Maybe. Oh my God. Yeah. Well. Yeah, I did. Oh well. And I did this one as well. So doesn't matter. Still came out beautiful though. I use QImage to create two strokes. Oh, there you go. Yes, I know you do that. I know you do that. Right. That I would not accept that. That should not be accepted. Period. It's crazy. So amazingly, look at the depth of those blacks, and matte black pigment ink, due to my mistake, was not even used. How about that? Ain't that something? And the same thing here. Oh, oh my gosh, that's good. Look at that. I'm looking at mine. Let me see if I can double load this here. It's a little bit different color balance. Again, that's probably due to my mistake. But gosh, how does it do that with just dye black ink? Because it's really not using. And I can see, um, I'm not so sure I like the way the texture of the canvas affects some of the areas. You can't see it because it's sort of smoothing out what I'm able to see here. Um, I suppose it would work for my mini paintings, maybe. Hmm. All righty. Well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and make some presets correctly with the correct paper choice and so on. The paper choice that I used, especially for my profiles, this should have been printed in presentation paper mat right there with that instead. I don't want to sacrifice my last sheet of this though, so I'm not going to do that. All right. My wife went to a meeting and she should be coming home pretty soon. I think I will wait here once we get off the air, and I'll go ahead and do the rescanning of some of these older profiles that I made with earlier, much earlier versions. That's okay if I do that, right? I have some profiles that I made like 4 or 5 versions ago. So I'll go ahead and rescan those charts. Try a portrait, he says. Yeah, I understand that really looks fantastic as well. Actually, nah, I'll have to do that next time. I was going to do something on, where is my, here, let's take a look at this. So this is Canon um, Platinum Gloss. This is metallic, this is Canon Platinum Gloss. So I use the, did I make a profile? I don't know what I did. I would have to check my profile list. But you can see that even though I used a different paper, as long as I made a profile for the 2 different papers, they match. This is the metallic version. This is non-metallic platinum gloss. And look at that. So yeah, interesting. It is mind-boggling sometimes what you get. All right, I'm going to open up the floor for anyone who wants to chat, wants to talk, wants to discuss, wants to do whatever. I appreciate last week we have had a couple of super chats from you guys. I don't see it here, so I don't know. I guess this is only something you see. I don't see it at all. I used to be able to see it, but it's not no longer there. So what do you want to talk about? Tell me what your plans are. It doesn't have to be about printing. Let's just talk about life in general. Um, so I think this week I got to look at my calendar upstairs. Actually, my wife's calendar. She's the one that keeps track of my life. In other words, she cannot drive, so I have to, wherever she needs to go, I have to take her, and we have to make sure that I don't plan something that's going to interfere with her needs, which have to do with medical appointments and things like that. So um, busy next week. Monday, my grandson Nathan has soccer practice, so I get to pick him up late. So maybe that day I'm going to be working on my good friend's wife is in hospice, and she may not last another week. And so we are already planning her funeral, and I'm going to do a slideshow of the many pictures that I have, and I want to only use pictures of the good times. In other words, um, they used to go on, ocean cruises every year. So all of that, they've been all over the world. So I'm just going to search and find pictures where they're together, and use some lovely music with it and create a slideshow. I just did a scan and, let's just say, retouching. She belongs to a very prestigious, in the university that she went to. She belonged to this sorority, and they use gold as their color. So in this set of portraits is a long horizontal uh, portrait that they had done. She had a white blouse, and she wanted it changed to gold. Let me see if I can open this. Why is this not letting me open it? Okay, that is weird. Always something. Let me see if I could open it. Anyway, so I changed the white blouse to gold, a gold and yellow color. I cannot get this open now. I don't know why. Cheapers. This one opens. Where is this located? OneDrive desktop. Let me see if I can open it using a different. Huh. Now I can't even open this PC to get into my drive. What is going on? Oh well. Well, I hate to, if this doesn't work, I'm just gonna have to call it a day. That's sad. But anyway, I wanted you guys to, if you had anything else to share with me, to go ahead and do so. Um, Let me get my next slideshow ready here. I'm hungry. I got to finish my lunch that I didn't get a chance to eat. We'll get this set up. Get the thank you set up. Have you guys heard anything at all? What's happening in the printing world? I haven't really seen nor heard anything, any hot news or anything like that. Everything seems to be pretty much the same. Um, no new printers or anything that we could basically use for refilling and that sort of thing. No? Okay. All right. Well, we have, at this point, we had 28 on board. So I'm going to go ahead and thank you again for all your support. I got to do a little bit of work after this, fixing some photos for this slideshow. The imminent, what's going to happen, the inevitable. She will probably pass away within a week. Right now, she's unresponsive. And then plan for next week. Hopefully, I hope that we're able to have a happy Easter. Um, if this happens, it's going to change things a little bit as to the things that are already sort of planned. But anyway, what can you do? All right. So thank you much again. We will see you next time. This week, I'm going to be uploading daily again. I think I checked to see whether um, like how many more videos I have, and I got another hard drive full of the newer batch of videos. So yeah, I think I probably had like 1,000 videos saved, which is good. At least I had that material saved and it didn't disappear completely. But anyway, here are some. Photo Icon says Happy Easter. Thank you, sir. No news. We're waiting for the 17-inch 8550. I wish that was true. Do you have any kind of inside news as to whether that can possibly happen? That would be amazing if that really became true. I have a quick question. This is Mountain Tiger. Is there any way I could get in touch with you regarding a Canon Pro 1000? I recently bought a used one, a used printer, completely disassembled it, and wrote up some notes on how it works. So you basically have created a user manual. In other words, sure. I mean, Do you want to come live here and talk about that? I'll wait. Answer me. If you want to come live, I wouldn't want to do this privately. Why not share it with the world? What is it that you would like to do? If you create like a PDF, you can probably sell that. Okay. Thank you. I have a 20 by 30-inch print hanging on my wall behind me from the EcoTank 8550 QMH multi-panel print. It looks like one big print. Yeah, you have to be able. How did you mount that? I remember that. I remember that. How did you mount that so that if somebody gets up to it, doesn't say, you just did. I know that multi-panel printing is very accurate. Um, I would, what I would love to do is something like that with sublimation. 4 panels with like an inch gap between each one and have it accurate so that it looks like it's just missing 1 inch vertical and horizontal. I would love to do that. I think I hear my wife. She just got home. All right. Yeah, that would no, QMH makes it easy actually. Yeah. Yeah, you just specify the gap. I'm gonna have to review those videos. I want to do that. I want to do that with like 8 by 12 sublimation blanks, and I will mount that. Yeah. All right. Thank you so much again. Let me go ahead and quickly get out of here so we can I can go back upstairs and see what's happening. So thank you again. Don't forget to subscribe, share, and like. Hit that bell. Try those hype uh, tricks on the videos that you watch and see whether that does anything. I don't know, but I hope it does. All right. Bye bye, everyone.